Hello and welcome to Nakik World Podcast. The Nakik World Podcast aims to uplift, inspire, motivate, and to encourage personal growth and introspection. I am your host, RJ. The human spirit is a flame that can be neglected, ignored, and covered over. It can also be nurtured, nourished, and fanned to create a blaze. Welcome back to Nakik World Podcast, where we fan the flame of your spirit. My topic today is an attitude of gratitude. The COVID-19 pandemic has created so much uncertainty around us. Our health, economic situation, personal relationships, everything is just so uncertain. It's easy to be ungrateful. It's easy to want things that we don't have. Everywhere we turn, we are reminded of the fact of how little we have rather than how much we have to be grateful for. Many working tirelessly, to no avail, unable to get ahead in life, especially after enduring the heartache of losing a loved one or suffering financial and emotional turmoil. It's simple to get disillusioned, and it's easy to not be grateful. Being thankful can provide us the resolve we need to make choices in our lives that serve us emotionally and physically in the long run. Gratitude allows us to participate more in life. We notice the positives more, and that magnifies the pleasures you get from life. The idea that tomorrow is not guaranteed is a strong motivator for some people to be their best self today. Simply being grateful for being alive is a great way to motivate oneself to seize the day. The state of being grateful is a pleasant experience studied by philosophers in ancient times for at least 2,000 years. Intellectuals have been considering the important role that gratitude plays in daily life. Now, instead of adapting to goodness, we can celebrate goodness. You are listening to Nakik World Podcast. Please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube and podcast platforms. Send your emails to podcast@nacinchina.com. What is gratitude? Many of us express gratitude by saying thank you to someone who has helped us or given us a gift. From a scientific perspective, however, gratitude is not just an action. It is also a positive emotion that serves a biological purpose. Gratitude is more than feeling thankful. It is a deeper appreciation for someone or something that produces longer lasting positivity. According to Dr. Robert Emmons, a leading scientific expert on the topic of gratitude, gratitude is an affirmation of goodness. We affirm that there are good things in the world, gifts and benefits we've received. This suggests that gratitude is more than just actions. It is an intention that we speak to ourselves that affirms the good things and people in our life. Dr. Emmons goes on to explain that gratitude is also acknowledgement that the good things in our life often come from external sources. If you happen to believe in a higher power or are of a spiritual nature, gratitude becomes an offering of thanks to whatever you choose to believe in. And I'm sure most of our listeners are Christian listeners who would understand that. Gratitude is a positive emotion felt after being the beneficiary of some sort of gift. It is also a social emotion, often directed towards a person, the giver of a gift, or felt towards a higher power, like our God. According to Dr. Robert Emmons, further, the feeling of gratitude involves two stages. He said, first comes the acknowledgement of goodness in one's life. In a state of gratitude, we say yes to life. We affirm that all in all, life is good, and it's elements that make life worth living and is rich in texture. The acknowledgement that we have received something gratifies us. both by its presence and by the effort the giver put into choosing it. Secondly, Dr. Emmons said, gratitude is recognizing that some of the sources of this goodness lies outside of the self. One can be grateful to other people, to animals and to the world, to God, but not to oneself. At this stage, Dr. Emmons said, we recognize the goodness in our lives and who to thank for it. Yes, who made sacrifices so that we could be happy. These two stages of gratitude comprise the recognition of the goodness in our lives, and then secondly, how this goodness that comes to us lies externally. By this process, we recognize the lack of everything that makes our lives and ourselves better. You are listening to Nakik World Podcast. Please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube and podcast platforms. Send your emails to podcast@nacinchina.com. Why is it so important to have gratitude in our life? Firstly, gratitude strengthens and enhances our faith. Gratitude can transform our life by strengthening and enhancing our faith. There's deep-rooted appreciation for things that arise for those that are grateful. It strengthens their faith and believe in all things. For me, personally, it's my belief and the realization that I'm truly and completely grateful for everything in my life, including also my problems. Gratitude transforms our faith by instilling the belief that we are not alone, and that whatever it is that we're going through, it will pass. On the other hand, we'll emerge victorious. We'll accomplish our goals, overcome our obstacles, and become a better person, one who's more sympathetic and even empathetic to the plight of others. Secondly, gratitude allows us to celebrate the present. It magnifies the positive emotions. Gratitude makes us appreciate the value of something. And then, when we appreciate the value of something, we extract more benefits from it. We're less likely to take it for granted. One of the reasons why gratitude can change your life is because it shifts your focus. Life is all about focus. Whatever we focus on, we move towards. Thirdly, gratitude blocks negative emotions such as envy, resentment, regret. Emotions that can destroy our happiness. You cannot feel envious and grateful at the same time, right? They're incompatible feelings. If you're grateful, you cannot resent someone for having something that you don't. When we are deep in negativity, our mental health suffers. We're more prone to depression and anxiety. When we live in a state of lack and negativity, we see more of that. It's easy to see something in a negative light when you're focused on that. It's easy to see all the problems and dilemmas surrounding a situation when your thinking is habitually geared towards that, towards the negativity. And lastly, grateful people have a higher sense of self-worth. When you are grateful, you have the sense that someone else is looking out for you. Someone else has provided for your well-being. Or you notice a network of relationships, past and present, of people who are responsible for helping you get to where you are right now. Once you realize that other people have seen the value in you, you can transform the way you see yourselves. So that is why gratitude is so important in our lives. You are listening to Nakik World Podcast. Please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube and podcast platforms. Send your emails to podcast@nacinchina.com. You know, there are things that we all take for granted, whether it's the roof over our heads, the food on our plates, or the clothes on our back. It's there, and we always expect those things to be there. But for many people in the world, it's not there. They lack the basic necessities in life. Food, water, and shelter, along with many other things, are not there. Gratitude can change your life because it makes you appreciate what you have rather than what you don't have. Gratitude can change your life because it is the single most powerful source of inspiration that any person can tap into if they simply just stop and paid attention to the simplistic beauty and miracle of life. The importance of practicing gratitude in small steps throughout your day is a vital tool in maintaining optimal mental, physical, and emotional health. It also acts as a ripple of positivity in your relationships, in your social circles, and broader in your community. We can all practice gratitude and pay it forward for a better, kinder world. Let us develop an attitude of gratitude. That brings us to the end of this episode. Keep on fanning the flame of your spirit. Please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube and podcast platforms. Send your emails to podcast@nacinchina.com. Magic World Podcast is broadcasted twice weekly, every Tuesday and Thursday at 3 p.m. Beijing time. Until next time, stay safe, be blessed, till we meet again.